Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, yo, what's good with it, y'all? It's your boy, Mr. Wilson, and you are now tuned in to WilsonBlock100 Radio. And we got a very special guest on the block with us today, Cory Tate. What's good with it?
What up, fam? How you doing, man?
Good, man. Good. Listen, man, we on our town legend shit, man, and we glad to finally have you here on the Wilson Block with us, man. What's the latest and greatest, man?
Oh, man. Just chilling, living life, house shopping, raising kids.
Right.
You know, being a productive member of society,
Let's go.
however you define that, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, man, I've just been good.
No doubt, man. Well, real quick, man, for our audience listening, go ahead and just give us a quick background on yourself.
Okay. Well, I'm Cory Tate, formerly known as Repent. I've been making music since probably 97, 98, but been actually releasing stuff since 2005.
Okay.
So 15 years. I put out my first mixtape in 2005.
What was the title of that one?
Well, I put out my first album kind of in 2005, and it was called Part 1, The Mind. And then after that, I kind of revamped some things, started going to better studios.
Right.
The homie Randy at Undercast. Undercast is a pretty well-known studio out here. He was my engineer early on when we were just recording in like apartment studios,
right,
making our own setup, doing our own thing. So I put out a mixtape in, I think it was more like 2007. I put out Start From Scratch, with DJ Money D, now known as DJ Mac Long. And then just been releasing stuff since then.
Yeah.
I've put out, I want to say it's 3 albums, a couple of group projects, lots of EPs and singles.
Right.
I feel like I've stayed pretty active. It's a pretty nice discography. You know.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking on that, man, I had to cop the discography, and I want to encourage people out there to go grab it too.
CoryTate.bandcamp.com.
Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Shameless plug. Okay. You know what I mean?
Shame.
Right. That part. No shame. You know what I mean?
Shame.
Shameless plug. You feel me?
Yes.
I really wanted to go over your discography. You know what I'm saying? If you could go ahead and just give us the titles from the start to current.
Oh, shit. Okay, well, as far as like full projects, I'll leave out singles because I don't want to count that. Start From Scratch was my first mixtape. I put out R.I.P. Reinventing Poetics in 2009. That was my real debut album. It had Chris Calico on it. A bunch of local legends. Yeah. Grinch was on it. Billy the Fridge was on it. Willie Will, one of my favorite local MCs ever. Lots of heroes from around the area.
Yeah. And what year was that one?
That one was 2009. I dropped that one in 2009. I think a few years around the same time me and Randy Ross, who used to go by Cynic, me and him did Midsummer's Day Drive, which was a little EP of all his production. He rapped on a few things. That's been pretty well received, kind of considered one of my better efforts.
Yeah.
That was my first EP. Where'd we go from there? I did 2 volumes of a project called On Second Thought, where I took some songs that I had recorded and then scrapped and not used for anything and brought them back and added some new songs in with them as well. And
nice.
I did 2 of those. They were both called On Second Thought, Volume 1 and 2.
Yeah.
The Hurt Locker started as an EP, then became a deluxe edition, which pretty much just turned into an album. It was longer. There was some remixes on there. One song had the beat entirely swapped. It was barely even a remix. It was just forget about the old version. This one better.
Yeah.
The first group project I did was with that one show. It was me, Notion, No Choice, and Shast. We recorded that one and released it looking like a DVD. That was fun.
No doubt.
We packaged it in a DVD case, called ourselves That One Show. and had like a synopsis on the back where we fit all of the song titles into the synopsis in their order.
Yeah.
So that was a good project. I enjoyed working on that one. Those guys are some of my favorite people I've ever made connection with. I did my most recent full-length album, Still as Repent, A Beautiful Funeral.
Yeah.
And I dropped that in 2014. And then since then, I changed I stopped going by Repent, started going by Cory Tate, and have released one full EP and a group project with my buddies Aeon and Savelli called EST20 Bad Hands. And that's the most recent full length.
Under Cory Tate.
As Cory Tate.
Right.
Afterlife was released as Cory Tate. I put that one out. I think it was 2017 that I dropped that. And then since then, it's been just singles.
Yeah.
For now.
Right. Now, what about video projects? What's been the latest on the video tip?
Nothing has been planned lately for video stuff. We did a bunch of videos for Bad Hands, the Bad Hands project, the EST20 project.
Yeah.
We did a bunch of videos for that.
That's up now?
That is out. That's been out since March.
I gotta catch back up, man. You know what I mean? I gotta, you have a real extensive catalog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And anyone coming to Washington, if they don't at least know about you or of you, then they ain't looking in the right place. You know what I mean?
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that's the case, but I know it's not the case.
Right. Well, sometimes, man, it just gotta come from someone else. You gotta let someone else
spread the word.
Say that. You know what I mean about you and hey man, no gas, man. I wouldn't.
Much love.
I wouldn't stress to even have you on WilsonBlock100 Radio if you didn't have something to offer.
Sure.
You know what I mean, or even something to talk about.
Sure.
You know what I mean, for that matter. So
I appreciate it.
So yeah, man. Just on some Washington, because I know you performed from Everett on down. You know what I mean, and probably even beyond.
Yeah.
You've been to Pasadena for crying out loud. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
But just around, the Washington scene collectively. You know what I'm saying? What are some legendary venues? You know what I'm saying? That you performed at and been.
Well, starting with the most legendary to me, having not performed at it though, Showbox in the Market. That's the one that I always really wanted to perform at. It still has never happened.
Over Numos.
Over Numos. Really? I think Showbox is the
pinnacle. It's the cornerstone.
It's our knitting factory. So. But I think the Showbox Market. It's also the most beautiful venue I think I've ever been in. But I've performed at the Chop Suey. I've performed at Numos.
Yeah.
I've performed at High Dive and the Nectar Lounge in the Fremont area.
Right. The Croc.
Yep. The Croc, yes,
Yeah.
I have done the Croc.
Let's go.
I've done back bar and front bar.
Hey, listen, I'm telling you, I'm town legend shit. I'm on some town legend shit. Listen, I let it speak for itself.
Yes, sir. That actually that one's the one that I would put in the running with Showbox Market. Not
the Croc?
Not Numos. It'd be Crocodile and the Showbox to me.
Really?
Those are the two that I think are if I can get to perform at either of those, I could die happy.
Right.
I got the Croc.
Right.
So that's why Repent's dead.
Oh, damn. Okay, so yeah, go ahead and tell us about that transformation there between the exchange.
Well, you just get older.
Right.
It's not like a thick story. It's just that I had been going by Repent since I was in high school, and I'm 36.
And you didn't
now.
think that way no more.
Yeah, I didn't think that way. I'm not overly religious.
Yeah.
I was much more religious when I accepted the name. I was performing in churches as a place to perform.
Is that gone?
That's pretty much done, yeah. I just wasn't that person anymore. My music had changed. I'd been through a marriage. I had 2 kids. So, Repent was like the 20-something-year-old hip-hop head.
You had to shed that.
Who didn't know what he was ready to do with his life.
Right.
And Cory Tate I'm a fucking adult, and I got kids. And, I'm raising a family, and just a different person. The content is a little different. I don't think my styles have changed. I think my style has pretty much always been what it is.
Yeah.
But it's definitely gotten better and matured.
Yeah, no doubt.
At least I like to think that the style and the content has matured with my age. Yeah. I wouldn't want to be the same guy rapping about the same shit.
Right. But the song you had mentioned, Take It to the Top. You know what I mean? That was the song that did it for me. You know what I mean? Before I really knew who you were.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That one's off.
And my impression with that was like, okay, bam. I don't see nobody else. You know, like I don't hear nobody. I heard your music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I saw your swag and how, you know, pretty much I was like, okay, Everett. Okay, I see. Like, you know what I mean? If this is Everett, like this is not bad. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
And my boy, you know, I played him the video as we was pulling up. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, this is the guy we about to interview. What you think? He fucks with it. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Yeah.
It's just built classic.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
I haven't done a ton of video projects. It's never been. I've never been like a cash flush artist. Like my money is going to a family. So my music has always been made. I've had investors at a couple of points. My best friend put a lot of money, pretty much paid for all of Beautiful Funeral to be made.
Oh wow.
We put a lot of work and effort into those projects.
Yeah.
And we never figured out. I've never been a money
was never the drive.
It's never been the drive.
Right.
I've never, like, anytime that I've tried to make a little bit, I might make a little bit, but it's not like I'm not leaving my kids and going on tour.
Right.
And nothing against those that do that. That's a sacrifice that I just wasn't willing to make. And if you're willing to make it because you know that the end game is.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, you know, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Their secured future.
Right.
I completely respect that, and I love that. But that's never been something I've been on 2 tours, right? And I met you in Pasadena.
Yeah.
That wasn't on one of the tours. I just came down for Wildcard's birthday to do.
Oh
the
shit,
show.
no doubt. Yeah, Wildcard, man. What's up with my dude, man?
Oh, he's still active online.
Is he?
And he just released a new album.
Oh yeah, I was like, hold on, what's Wild? Because I remember he was at the pinnacle. Like he was really about to, and then I just stopped hearing about it.
Yeah, I don't know I'm not familiar with what was going on for a couple of years. I know he kind of fell off the radar for a minute.
Yeah, no, Wildcard is.
Again, probably doing adult shit. He had life to fucking deal with.
Exactly, life happens.
You can't just, like, unless you figure it out, unless you've got that mentality for that side of the game, then you may just end up, I don't mind being a hobby rapper, to be completely honest with you. I do this because I love to do this. Because you love it.
Exactly. And you know what? That's a decision artists have to make when they get started. You know what I mean? Because it's like, that's why, you know, I do the magazine even when I do this.
Right.
You know, I got to put money into this to even do it at this point. You know what I mean? And so, but, you know, I already know that I love to do it. So, you know what I mean?
I've been spending a lot of time trying to get myself into a position where I'm spending the money up front while I have it to put myself in a position to not ever have to spend it on that again.
Right.
I put a studio in the house so that I don't have to go pay somebody else to have for studio time.
Ever, exactly.
I've been teaching myself how to mix, so I don't even have to ask somebody else how to mix. I would probably still branch out for mastering, mostly just because I think that it's important to have that third ear.
Right,
or not,
exactly.
Well, in this case, it would be the second ear.
Right, and mastering can't hurt. You know, mastering is, you know.
Yeah, you want that extra opinion.
Right.
You want that outside source opinion, especially if you're paying them. They're going to be honest with you because they want you to get your money worth or not. Bad talk them.
Right.
So, you know, I like having that. Other than that, man, I'm on that DIY shit now.
Yeah, right.
Trying to figure out how I can do this, look professional.
Yeah.
But not necessarily spend professional money.
Right. Hey, it's just to work smarter, not harder.
Sure.
You know what I mean? You can still work hard, but you know what I mean?
Russ has been his own engineer, and mixing engineer for a while.
Right.
He's a millionaire now. All independent.
Yeah.
Like, that shit can just happen.
Right, exactly. But see, he didn't let nothing define what the steps were.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, he really paved his own way.
Yeah, he looked at the places where there were middlemen that there didn't need to be middlemen, and he figured out how to cut them out.
Exactly.
And the more you cut them out, the more you realize you really don't need anybody but you and a fucking TuneCore account.
Exactly. And then if you just got the knowledge on how to create, I remember there was that quote when Ice Cube was like, where he had said something to the effect of, listen, you're only going to get paid for what you can do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you know, I guess, you know, Ice Cube, you know, he a boss dude. He was dealing with a lot of different acts under his, you know what I mean?
For sure.
So to speak. So, but yeah, I mean, you know, across all of your projects, you know, who are some of the producers you worked with?
Well, no, I guess not most.
Because you have good beat
so
selection.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Randy and my brother were my main engineers for a large portion of my earlier career.
Okay. They were really producing originals.
Yes, originals.
Let's go.
My brother was filthy with the sample. He could fucking really kill a sample,
Yeah.
and so could Randy. But they also really flexed on original beats. So I was lucky enough to like be able to put projects together that pretty minimally sample heavy.
Right, so you can monetize it.
Yeah, so Randy and my brother Curtis were my original producers, but I've also worked with MTK and DJ Infrared.
Yeah.
My guy Aeon from EST20, he does production. You riding that fence? Is it greener on the other side? Doesn't look like it.
Yeah.
Man, I'm kind of drawing a blank. I've worked with a lot of producers.
Right.
But I'm currently working on a project with a French producer named Aram. I'm working on a project with Shorty. Working on a project with Speedy. All of them as producers.
Right. Now they're all producing their own original projects, or they're all coming together on one?
No, we're all working on separate things.
Okay.
So
nice.
it's just kind of like.
Now, do you have any albums that were exclusively produced?
Just A Midsummer's Day Drive, the EP.
Okay. I'm
that
listening
one
to it.
was
Yeah.
produced by Randy exclusively.
I like those when an artist actually gets a whole album produced. I mean, it's just a real good stamp. You know, you get to really hear both. Right. The collaboration in depth, you know.
It makes it more of a fluid narrative. Like even if you're not doing like something thematic, it just everything feels like it belongs together.
Exactly.
Naturally, just by having the same producer.
Right. And who have been some of your favorite artists to collaborate? I already know you mentioned hella cats. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Aeon from EST20 is one probably top 5 of my favorite people to collaborate with.
No
the
doubt.
Dude's a ridiculously filthy MC, and he just likes to rap. So we would get together, like that's the place that I would go anytime that I was like kind of at a tipping point with like I would rather quit than deal with all the bullshit that I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
I would just go down to Everett, go to his studio spot. I was at our homie's house, Joe. And we would just go in the studio and create all day.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have any direction. We wouldn't know what we're going to do before we get there. We would just get there. We'd find a beat. We'd write to it, and we'd record.
Man.
We'd lead there with 3 or 4 songs every time.
Right,
He's one of my favorite people to work with based on that. Speedy is definitely one of my favorite people to work with, mostly because he's a perfectionist.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get anything out of working with him other than the best that he's capable of bringing to the project.
Right.
Which is good to push.
Yeah. All right, so look, let me ask you this real quick.
Okay.
Because you can't really have a catalog like yours without asking about, you know, what your hunger for creativity is, right? Like you say, you know, you love this.
Right.
You know what I mean? What's your motivating force when writing new songs? You know what I mean? Where do you get your inspiration from?
I'm getting most of my inspiration from things I'm going through.
Yeah.
I try to be fairly open in my music with what's going on. So I put my kids are in my music a lot. My girls in my music a lot.
Nice.
They are the thing that make me want to write the most.
Yeah.
And then just when dope albums drop, when good artists that I'm a fan of put out good quality shit, I'm at first a lot of times I'm gonna have that. I should just quit. This guy's too fucking good.
Right.
There's no way I'm competing with this. But then after you listen to it a few times, like lately that new Nas album.
Oh, is it real?
For me, I'm a Nas stan. Nas is my number one.
Yeah, right. No doubt.
He's the GOAT to me.
Yeah.
So off top, I'm fucking with Nas.
Yeah.
But I think this record is one of his best.
Oh, wow. That's a big statement because, you know, he's got a hell of a body of work.
He for sure does. But, I mean, this is in his
now, look,
top
I tell
three,
people all the time, Stillmatic over Illmatic. How do you feel about that?
I actually agree with that, I think.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, so I don't know, man. So it's I go back and forth, but because I go back and forth with Illmatic and It Was Written as well. I think It Was Written is arguably his best all-around record.
Okay.
But I think most people are going to say it's Illmatic. I think Illmatic set a precedence that hadn't been. Like, he upped the bar with that album.
Exactly, for sure. Especially with, like, being lyrical.
It's just, I started coming into getting onto the Nas train with Stillmatic. So for me, that is like, for a lot of people, that was Illmatic in 94.
Right.
For me, it was Stillmatic.
Right.
And, you know,
like, Stillmatic was our Illmatic.
Stillmatic was my Illmatic.
Let's go, bro. Thank you. You're the first person that, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I would definitely describe it like that. I love Godson.
Right. Thank you. Exactly, man. That was a great album, man.
Good album. So that record has had me pretty inspired lately. Yeah. I really like just bar heavyweights like Royce and Joyner. Right. I like listening to guys that they can really, really spit.
Yeah. Joyner's a monster.
And they love to spit for the craft of it. Like, it's not always got to be some serious,
for exhibition
shit. They'll just like showing the fuck off.
Right.
You know, it's a lot of those artists when they drop, that makes me want to go in the booth and maybe try some different cadences and maybe try some different styles.
Right.
Play with some shit.
Yeah. But I mean, when I listen to your music, I could definitely tell, like, you got a love for it. It doesn't sound like no shit that these whack dudes come with. Like, these whack dudes, they come with some shit and really be mad if you don't like it. You know? And it's like, come on, bro. Like, I can't respect it off the simple fact that you got people out here really trying their best.
Right.
So if you think you're just going to come and capitalize by not trying your best, I know you can do better than that.
And without doing the work and understanding the history.
Exactly.
I think that in order to truly love something and be a part of something, especially, like, you know, I'm a guest, right? This isn't my culture. This isn't something that I want to portray some sense of ownership over.
Yeah.
I love the culture and I love the craft of putting a rhyme together.
Yeah.
Putting words together like puzzle pieces. Like, you know, there's just this sense of accomplishment when you write a really dope verse. You've wrote the verses that you get done and you wrap it back to yourself and you're like, Tog, I am fucking fired.
You feel me?
Nobody else's opinion matters in that moment when you just feel like you wrote a dope fucking rhyme.
Exactly.
And
I've been there, man.
You know, so that's why I say, like, I've never been money driven. Like, this is all for me. It's always been about writing a dope rhyme, putting a piece of yourself into it, writing a good song, coming up with a concept and a structure, and telling a narrative and a story, and telling it in a way that makes people want to go back and listen again because they know they missed some shit.
Right.
You know.
Hey, it's Ryan Seacrest. Life comes at you fast, which is why it's important to find some time to relax. A little you time. Enter Chumba Casino. With no download required, you can jump on anytime, anywhere for the chance to redeem some serious prizes. So treat yourself with Chumba Casino and play over 100 online casino-style games, all for free. Go to ChumbaCasino.com to collect your free welcome bonus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
You know, storytelling rhymes, like, it's poetry, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's the modern day poet. Is the rapper.
So you would hear artists that you were a fan of and be like, all right, man, I'm about to go in the lab and whip up my own little batch of.
For sure.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I have a song called "Looky Looky" that, like, I took aspects and stylings from "Made You Look" by Nas.
Oh, really?
So I heard "Made You Look," and then this beat fell into my lap at some point. The homie Shast made it. It's on Hurt Locker Deluxe, I think.
Okay.
But it's my version of "Made You Look."
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna check that out, man, for sure.
And I came up listening to Bone, so, like, the very first way that I learned how to rap was fast. So I had to actually grow out of feeling like I need to just body the syllables in every fucking bar.
Your cadence.
Understanding that, like, I'm actually pretty dope when I slow it down a little bit and let people hear what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I can tell you a better story if I don't have to fit so many filler words into it just so I can chop.
Right.
Not that I don't still love chopping.
Right.
And if you're good at something, flex on it. But,
yeah, man, by all means.
Keep that as, like, the secret weapon.
Right. Have that in the repertoire.
I don't know why I brought that up. That wasn't really what the
question.
Hey,
listen, man, this is levels. It's levels to it. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. So, hey, you know, listen, what's the music scene like in Everett? You know what I mean? Good,
I mean,
bad.
it's interesting. It's interesting. It's pretty. It's a pretty 50-50 blend of stuff that's really good, and I support a lot of my brothers out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of them I just don't know, or I have not liked it. It's nothing against the music. Like, make music. Do you?
I mean, it's gonna be with anywhere you go.
Do what you do. I've never been the guy that's going to go out of my way to support something that I don't personally fuck with.
Right.
Not that I wish bad on anybody from Everett. I hope anybody that's from Everett, I hope that they're doing what they need to do to succeed at what they want to do.
Right.
However that shit comes out, I would love to see Everett cats be more on.
Yeah.
I've always felt like Everett cats are real quick, and it's not just Everett. It's cats from other areas too. But real quick to say I'm from Seattle, instead of just embracing it and saying I'm from Everett.
Yeah.
I've always, my guy Dirt Tay's always been unapologetically Everett. I've always been unapologetically Everett.
Let's go. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Look,
I don't even live in Everett.
Look. I mean, I was born in Linwood.
Right.
But I'm from Pasadena.
Right.
You know, and so it's unapologetically Pasadena. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I don't even live down.
Like, if you was from Everett and you was like, nah, but you know, I grew up in Seattle, so say I'm from Seattle, I'd be like, come on, dude, like.
It depends on which stretch of time you spent in Seattle. I've had this argument about Pac, right? Because Pac is from, the East Coast,
right?
Baltimore and that area.
Yeah.
And I've always talked about he didn't even go to like. I'm not saying he's not a Cali artist. I don't want nobody to think that I'm disrespecting the guy.
But he came to Cali too,
right?
so
he came at 16 years old. So I've always kind of made the argument that, like, I mean, he's kind of a New York cat who claims the West Coast.
Yeah.
And then I feel like I bring this up in conversations with people who like talk shit about going someplace else and saying you're from that place instead of the place that you came from. Yeah. I think that it has to do with when you went there and what part of your formative years were spent.
Exactly.
Like you are who you are because and that's the counter argument for someone like Pac is that he was so fucking West Coast. It didn't matter if he didn't go there till he was 16.
Right.
He was West Coast as shit.
Right.
And it did not fucking matter anymore.
Yeah. Well, I moved to Pasadena.
Just my devil's advocate bringing it up. Like, I mean, Pac was from fucking Baltimore, so I don't know.
Well,
why
I mean, but listen, but you say that to say. It's like, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so, I moved to Pasadena and I was 12.
Yeah.
So the people that grew up in Pasadena, born at the hospital, Huntington Hospital and all of that.
Right.
Who am I to them? You ain't from Pasadena. You know what I mean? But if you ask me, that's where I spent more than half of my life.
Puberty at 12 years
formative
old.
years. You know what I mean? And all the critical shit that determines your whole outlook and
first
perspective.
Time you drank was probably in Pasadena.
Man.
First time you smoked was in
Pasadena.
All of the first time you fucked was in Pasadena.
Bro.
First time you drove was in Pasadena.
No,
you're a Pasadena boy.
Yeah, you're right, Pasadena. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Pasadena. This is a fact. But yeah.
I didn't move out of Everett until I was 28.
Oh shit.
I lived in Everett. I
didn't move out of Pasadena until I was 27.
But you didn't go there till 12. So I'm saying from like day uno to 28 years old. That's how long I was in Everett.
Yeah.
The furthest south that I went was 128th. Still Everett, but not quite Linwood.
Right, 128. That shit's up there.
Yeah. That was the furthest south I lived until I moved to Tacoma.
Okay, so you actually moved to Tacoma?
Yeah, well, I did live in Tacoma.
Okay.
When I moved into my best friend Stacy's house. Well, not her house. Her mom's house. Her mom manages a farmhouse that is now surrounded by an apartment complex. So it's the manager's house. It used to be farmland. It got,
renovated.
It developed.
Right.
That area developed. It turned into an apartment complex. They made the farmhouse the manager's house. And then she had a badass basement that was basically furnished, ready to go for somebody to live there. We used to have parties down there all the time. A lot of our like release parties and birthday parties. And when they were doing their podcast, they would have Stacy's birthday down there and do the podcast during the birthday party.
Yeah.
I filmed Red Cup Affair in that basement. We had hella people over and did a party track.
Yeah.
I lived there when I filmed that.
Yeah.
We just got the bed out of there for a day, set up a DJ booth, had a fucking dance floor, and it was fucking fire. So I moved in there and lived there for I think about 1.5 to 2 years, and then me and my girl moved in together.
Okay, no doubt. And so, were you ever a part of like that whole Westlake district back in the day where, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I hung out in Westlake.
Okay, yeah.
But
yeah.
I was never
You weren't on no
part
rap
of-
shit back then and all that.
No, and
Because dudes was out there selling mixtapes and the whole nine.
I've never really done street hustle promotion like that.
Okay.
I have tried. That kind of hustle has never been my
It's really subjective, you know? Like, I'm going to be way 100 with you. The whole reason why my whole little movement worked was because of my circumstances.
Sure.
Right? And so I was actually able to come across individuals over a period of time and actually know everybody and develop some form of...
So we've established that I didn't care about making money. What I wanted was for people to hear me.
Yeah.
And the thing that I've always taken away from selling my CD on the street is that there is nothing that makes that person interact with me after that transaction. They don't have to look at the back of the CD and see where I'm on Facebook, and they can go out of their way to come and find me. If I push everything online, everything is connected. You know how to get to me. You can come tell me I'm garbage, or you can come tell me I'm fire. But at least you tell me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
but does that mean you're against the physical release? The physical copy release?
No, but I pretty much reserve them for selling at merch tables.
Okay,
and shows.
consignments and whatnot.
And shows.
Okay,
Well, shows. I did do the consignment thing on my first album, and I sold some. But you know, then you have to have specialty advertise. You have to find special ways to advertise so that people know you're at each one of those shops without saying like.
And that's all your effort.
Right. To me, I mean, so I came in. I feel like when I came into releasing projects and really trying to make a name for myself. I came in kind of at the tail end of the generation that thought that you get a manager, you get a lawyer, you cut a record deal, you cut a demo, you get a record deal, you sign a contract. And the generation that said, fuck all of that, we're going to do it all online.
Right.
And my generation, like me and other rappers in the area that are my age, kind of fit squarely in between those, where we still think that that's what we need to do, but that's not the way the music industry is moving. Yeah. So it stops mattering as much, and then you're not really sure. You either keep up, you're either able to like figure out how to do it this way instead, or you kind of just don't, and you just you're like. Yeah. So
leading up to that, I was going to ask you what's your thoughts on streaming. You know what I'm saying, compared to the digital download. I mean, for the record, I just want to thank you for updating your Bandcamp.
Yes, sir.
Listen, I did a podcast on why every musician should use Bandcamp.
Yeah.
And I said it even considering the fact that I've had my little riff raffs with Bandcamp, and I mean, it's got ugly, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, in today's climate of music distribution and listening to music and whatnot, it's just a real easy way for even the fan to support the artist, you know what I mean?
So I definitely started pushing on the streams a lot more. I definitely don't go out of my way to get physicals to answer that question, because I don't do shows as much anymore either. Right. At this point, I've reached a point where I'm just making music mostly for me, but I want to put it out there for people to hear. Right. So I use DistroKid. I distribute through them to get it on all of the streaming sites. Yeah. But you don't make nothing there, so it's never been about making money at those places. I have just recently, and it wasn't just a conversation with you. I'd already been thinking about doing this when Hanif dropped his and Topes. You know who Hanif is? Hanif the barber used to go by Luck One.
Luck One sounds familiar.
You might have heard
from
of
Everett?
Luck One. He's from Portland originally. He lived in Seattle for a while. He moved to New York. He lived in LA.
Was he part of the battle scene at all?
I don't remember him being part of the battle scene. I met him shortly after he moved to Seattle, and we've been cool. I wouldn't go as far as to say we're friends, but we're cool. We've worked together on some stuff. We've done a couple shows together. He's a good dude. I watched him come out of nowhere and drop an album on Bandcamp exclusively. Mm-hmm. Like, he's not fucking with your streaming. He's not fucking with none of that. He exclusively made people go to Bandcamp to get it. And it's a great project. I copped it off GP because I know what he does. I know who he is on the mic. Right. That's one of those dudes from the region around here that I really respect lyrically as a craftsman. Yeah. But he dropped that project on Bandcamp exclusively and said, I'm not fucking with the streaming sites. Come to Bandcamp or don't listen to it. It's fine. Right. And that was kind of like, I almost kind of looked at that as like a kick in the ass. Like, what are you doing? Why do I keep just fucking dropping stuff on streaming? If I want to put the effort in, it's not like I can't still drop it on streaming. I'm just personally, I'm probably just going to like release stuff on Bandcamp exclusively at first, and then after like a 2 week to 4 week period, you drop it on all the streaming,
Right.
you know. But try to get the people to come to you first, and come get it from you, before they just do the subscription thing,
right?
Which is fine. That's I know people rock that way, and I don't want to like. I'm not ever going to like do everything I can to
just keep up with their standard of.
Again, it's not about the money for me.
Exactly.
But if I can make a few bucks. I've definitely made more via Bandcamp than I have.
Right, exactly. And you see, the difference is this. I can buy your album today, and you can go get a new interface today.
Right.
You know what I mean? With streaming, I mean, you really have to devise a strategy and have some form of marketing capital to even get your money back. Right? Because, I mean, come on, let's just be real. Today, they charge us just to advertise the people who already follow us.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I mean, if that's not a matrix or a paradox, I mean, what do you call that? Like, you know, but we still...
And how effective is that advertising unless you're really putting in some major bucks? I've done Facebook advertising. I'm not going to drop thousands of dollars on Facebook advertising.
Right.
So, you know,
you would have to just to reach a minimum.
I still do it just to see how it's going to go. It's always almost more of an experiment. Like, I'll throw some bucks on it and see how this works. And sometimes it pans out okay. Sometimes it just is like, oh, it was a waste of money, but whatever. I know how those kinds of things go and whatnot. I think the best thing that you can do, especially if you've reached that point where you're just doing it mostly for yourself and you just want people to hear the music, is to give them an avenue to come directly to you and interact with you personally.
Right.
And you know, if you can make some money doing that, then make some money doing that.
Yeah, and I prefer the digital download just based off of the simple fact of how I listen to music.
Sure.
Right? Like, I'm the type of dude that really has, the instrumental on repeat. I mean, both of my phones right now, my music player is any song I play is on repeat.
Right.
And with streaming, I mean, I don't need you to control how I can't even listen to an instrumental anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, you can hit repeat. You know that, right?
Well, no. What I'm saying is if you're only giving me streaming services to access music, right? The way that YouTube's always under scrutiny and under threat of what we can even do on it, right? Then listen. I mean, I don't want to hear an ad because I played it back 2.5 times.
Right.
I don't want and I want to go back. I want to cycle to it the way I want to, and I don't want access to music to rely on a data connection. So I've been against streaming since the jump, only because it actually puts the power back into the hands of the corporation.
What I like about it is that it allows independent artists to put their music out to a wider audience easier. And if that's the way that the consumers are going, if they're just moving toward, I mean, I have a streaming subscription, so I would push back on some of the things that you said because I use. I mean, I still
streaming. I got songs up there too.
I'm saying I, as a fan and a listener, I use streaming services a lot.
Okay.
I still will buy a record on Bandcamp when somebody that I fuck with drops one to support them specifically. But like, I didn't go buy the Nas album because I pay for a streaming service, so I went and listened to the Nas album on the streaming service. The things I would push back are like how fine detailed you can get with the searching and the repeating and listening to stuff, and with you can download songs for offline listening. But I think what's important about Bandcamp is that especially if it's a fucking independent artist, especially if you know that artist is like they're not Nas, they're not like a fucking legend who has a built-in several $100,000 streams first week just by being Nas.
Right.
Those are the people that you should just buy the record on Bandcamp. You put some money in their pocket, it doesn't fuck with them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it helps them out.
I mean, you don't really see too many.
Especially if you like it.
But you don't see too many popular artists on Bandcamp. Sure. They're usually independent artists. You know what I mean? But like even the Wilson Block magazine, when Issue, which was the platform we were uploading our magazine to, out of nowhere, we had to upgrade to embed the magazine on our website. The website was a big part of everything. And then I'm just like, that's it. You could just change the game, But but thanks to the digital download, You know what I mean? People were actually able to download the publication and access the content even offline.
Right.
And that's why it's like how we had the Nextel walkie-talkies.
Sure.
Right? It's like, what could have been more convenient and more effective than the direct connect chirp? I mean, you could call a motherfucker, or you could just chirp him or text the motherfucker. I mean, what was more simple than that? To go to evolve into actually paying for how much data we use, that's a complete shift in the game.
Sure.
And you know, when I look at it, it's like Apple, Spotify, and all the big dudes. You know, they have the budgets. You know, the corporation, they have the budgets to attract the audience and get people to use these apps. And theoretically, I wouldn't be against it if it didn't have so much sense of control.
Right.
You know what I mean? And just the pennies upon pennies on the dollar that you get for a stream. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, I get it. There's a big market.
Right.
A lot of artists out there, you know, trying to get their thing up. You know what I mean? But I mean,
I think if you're just going to listen to music as a fan, streaming is just fine. But if you really are a supporter, like you really fuck with an artist, you should see if you can find their shit through an avenue that allows you to support them.
Yeah. I just favor artists being creative, you know, finding their own way of releasing music.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I release some of my music exclusively through my publication just to mix it up a little bit, try some experiment.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you know, that effort's respected. I mean, you see it worked for Nipsey Hussle pretty well.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, he's kind of the originator of that the whole, like, fuck you.
Right.
Like, I'm not,
Pay me what I'm worth.
why would I release my shit through you when I can release it myself? Watch me charge $100 for a fucking mixtape. You know what I mean? Like, and sell it.
Right.
And sell copies.
Right.
Like, he originated that
model.
I feel like he kind of kicked, like, with that whole entire mindset and hustle. It wasn't like there wasn't independent artists prior to that, because I was rapping before he did it, before I heard about him doing that too.
Right.
But that made it popular. It mainstreamed it. It made it like, it just showed everybody that, like, why would I sign? Why would I sign a deal when I can just do it myself? There's still benefits to signing a deal. Having a machine behind you, there's still benefits to it.
Right.
It's just, like, the more I got involved in business side of music, the more I realized that life probably isn't for me. I don't want to deal with these kinds of people. I don't want to deal with the level of backstabbing and
politics
and clickiness and
politics.
And all of that shit is just not shit that I ever wanted to deal with.
Yeah, it takes away from that love. You know, it gets in the way and it becomes something else. Then it doesn't become fun anymore. I really admire the OG indies that like Living Legends and Tech Nine and artists who are always on that train of thought. Atmosphere.
Right. I fuck with Atmosphere. I like Atmosphere a lot. I've always liked that like appreciated that more.
Yeah.
I feel like Slug can walk it through a mall and not have an issue. You know what I mean?
Right.
M can't do that. Nas can't do that. Jay can't do that.
Right.
I never wanted to be in a position where I couldn't go to the fucking gas station without
turning the lights
off. Without it turning into some shit.
Right.
Now I got to sign 100 autographs when I just wanted to fill my fucking tank.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's that real, man.
Yeah.
So listen, man. You know, I personally, I'm over here interviewing you. You know what I'm saying? I actually value your opinion, right, on certain things, right, especially when it comes to music.
Okay.
So I just want to talk about soundtracks. You know, what's your favorite soundtrack? Because I mean, when we talk about soundtracks in movies,
I'm a big soundtrack fan.
Right. Let's go. You feel me?
Fan.
So just give me like 3 hands down soundtracks.
Top 3. Rush Hour is one.
Really?
Rush Hour is my favorite soundtrack.
This the original Rush Hour?
The original Rush Hour soundtrack. The original Blade soundtrack.
Oh, shit.
And,
listen, it don't even have to be a movie. It could be a video game.
Might be Men in Black, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah.
The first one.
Men in Black soundtrack, yeah.
Hey, bro, it was classic. Hey, it was actually pretty fucking classic. I was the biggest fan of it, too.
There was a Bad Meets Evil song on that record. A Royce and M song on that record. There was a Nas song on that record. There was
on the first Men in Black soundtrack.
Yeah, there was Will Smith's, Men in Black song, which I do not give a fuck. Will Smith is an underrated legend.
Come on,
rap wise.
Let's go.
I don't give a fuck what anybody has to say. Will Smith is a fucking legend.
Straight out
on the mic.
I mean, he's all of that. He really is.
He's never not been good. You might not enjoy that kind of music,
Right.
But that
even
kinda
if you
hip-hop-
thought it was corny, it was still dope.
It was a little corny, but
Right,
it was
but
fire,
he made it
though.
work.
He
It was
could still-
fire,
he
though.
could still really rap. The skill. I've always held like the craftsmanship and the skills over the image.
Right.
If I can listen to you, like I've listened to some Juggalo. I'm not a fan of ICP, but I've listened to some Juggalo positioned rappers that are really dope rappers, and I would listen to them.
Right.
I'm not a fan of that genre of hip hop.
Right.
But I'm a fan of dedication to the craft.
Exactly.
I'm a fan of like caring
Right.
that
The real shit.
that I can really spit.
Right.
Rappers that you
And see,
can
that was back when
there's rappers that you can tell just don't really care if they're a good rapper or not.
Right.
Crunchy Black is probably my least favorite rapper.
Really?
I know I turned a soundtrack conversation into
Well,
what my
no,
least
that was
favorite
the third.
rappers
You gave
are.
us the 3.
I did give you the 3.
Yeah.
But still, I thought we were going to talk
Right,
about that
right,
more.
yeah.
I just
I mean,
kinda
we
went-
could, yeah,
I
no,
just kind of
listen, right.
strafed to the right, like
Right. Well, yeah, we following though. You know what I mean?
Stone Man. Yeah, man. I think that you can tell. I mean, just to sum them both up, I think that you can tell the difference, and I think that soundtracks are dope.
Yeah, for sure.
I think
definitely.
soundtracks kind of made a comeback recently. I remember when the Suicide Squad soundtrack came out, I was like, nobody's put a soundtrack out for like a movie like this anymore. Like streaming happened, and I think it just kind of took that away.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just don't see like. You'd see the film score, but not necessarily a soundtrack
Right.
of songs that were played throughout
Like when
the movie
you
or
went and
whatever.
actually bought a soundtrack, that actually
Things like the Rush Hour soundtrack sold that movie.
You
Huh?
could
Bohemian Rhapsody?
The movie?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Soundtrack.
but that's not really a soundtrack though. That's just a bunch of Queen songs.
It's just a tribute, yeah.
It's just Queen songs. Like I'm saying like Rush Hour was a soundtrack. All those songs were licensed to Rush Hour first. You heard Can I Get A on the Rush Hour soundtrack before you heard it on Volume 2.
Right.
Can I Get It was on Volume 2, right? Hard Knock
Yeah.
Life?
You know
Can I
what?
Get- I'm
Listen,
pretty
I'm
sure.
not. Listen,
Can
man.
I get a fuck you to these
Right,
bitches
right.
from all of my... Fucking love that song, man. That was the first time you heard Ja Rule was on the Rush Hour soundtrack.
Yeah. But listen, man, it's video games.
Video game
They
soundtrack.
got sick ass soundtracks. Like
Yeah.
there was even like Madden 07 or you know what I mean?
Midnight
Just like
Club 3, bro.
Yeah, but
Live
are we talking
2004,
About, are you
like-
talking about the soundtracks just as in just the songs that you could hear on the project? Or did they actually put out a soundtrack?
okay, right? No, so some of these were repeats, jams.
When I
and, you know what
think
mean?
soundtrack,
The
I think
selections.
like back in the day, you could go to the CD store and you could buy the Rush Hour soundtrack, the Blade soundtrack, and it had the movies that were specifically licensed for the movie
Right.
on the soundtrack. That's
Right.
what I consider a soundtrack.
Right.
I know a soundtrack technically means like anything that was played throughout the film or video game as well. But if
Right.
you didn't package it as a stream the soundtrack here, you don't have to play the game to hear the songs, you don't have to watch the movie to hear the songs.
Right.
Stream the soundtrack, buy the soundtrack. That's when I consider it.
Yeah, it should
That's
be
what
that way.
I think when I think of soundtrack.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
these are the collections of songs you
Right.
highlight.
Okay, but do you think the soundtrack should contain the original songs? I mean, let's say it's a popular song, right, from Elvis. I mean, right? You know, but it's on this soundtrack because they used it in the movie, but this is not a song that was originally made for that movie, right?
Yeah. No, but that's still
That's
though,
fine.
like you license the song. It basically
Right,
turns
right,
it-
right. Okay,
a
yeah.
soundtrack is essentially a compilation album.
Exactly. Okay, I just thought you were saying that you respect the soundtracks that had songs that were made for that soundtrack.
No, I mean I like those more. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
But I think there's always a mix of that.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Like
for
the
sure.
Suicide Squad soundtrack had songs that were not from like
Right, made long
originally
before the movie.
Made before the movie,
Yeah.
but there were specific songs that were made and licensed exclusively for the movie that they
Right.
could market as like as part of the brand.
Right.
Yeah, those songs are dope. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
South
exactly.
Pole.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Yeah.
made only exclusive content of that movie.
Right.
Which was a South Pole Beast.
He only reached out to people who were willing to like let me have the song exclusively.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that.
All right, now who are your favorite actors?
Favorite
Give me
actors?
3, because I know there's some shit out there, man.
Tom Hanks is my favorite actor.
Really?
Of all time.
Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
man.
I mean, I've seen that guy like completely transform into every character he's ever played. That movie, there's. I think I realized that he was my favorite when I saw The Terminal. You ever seen that?
The Terminal.
He plays the Terminal. He plays a Russian dude or Kazakhstan, maybe? No, I don't remember. Anyways, he sounds Russian. He plays a Russian guy whose country goes into war and is disavowed as a country while he's in the air flying to America to visit New York, and they won't let him out of the airport. But they also can't put him on a plane and send him home. So he lives in the airport for 9 months. He learns English by reading brochures in the airport.
That story.
It's based on a true story. It's very interesting. But if you didn't know who Tom Hanks was, you would just assume that he was actually a foreign actor. He just was very convincing.
Right.
And I just like his personality in movies. He always has a very playful demeanor.
Right.
He can do everything from drama to comedy.
What are your favorite genres?
Action.
Action off top. You know what I mean?
Action sci-fi. Action sci-fi. We all know I'm a big superhero nerd. I'm a comic book guy. So like the MCU stuff, the DC movies, you know.
Okay, so
even when they're bad, I still kind of find this enjoyment in them.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's we enjoy having an opinion on it too. Like, oh man, fucking
that
this
was trash, but I'm gonna watch it.
Beyond,
but I'm gonna watch it again.
Right.
Right. I'm gonna watch it again and probably again after that, and make sure that I think it's trash. I'll probably still think it's trash.
I'll still wear the T-shirt.
But I still watched it 3 times.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's been my favorite
genre. I'm gonna ask you about DC real quick, and I don't want to get too far on top, but right. DC, where do they keep fucking up at? Where do they go wrong
in the movies?
Yeah.
I think that they try
clearly in comparison to the MCU, right?
Right. But you know, they have their people, their fans that think that the MCU movies are all comedies for kids, and DC's making adult superhero content.
Right.
I think the problem is that they're trying to make adult superhero content instead of making movies that are accessible. That's why MCU is successful, because they're accessible to all ages, but they still have themes and storylines and narratives that are very relatable to adults.
Yeah.
You can root for the characters more than you can in a DC movie because they're all kind of dark and depressing a little bit when they do their movies.
I just feel like if DC would do the Dark Knight in every movie, right, then they would see some success.
But that's why I feel like that's why they stopped seeing success. They tried to do that with Superman and Man of Steel, and it wasn't hopeful and bright enough because it's Superman. He's supposed to be this character that invokes hope and faith in good things. Right. He's supposed to be like the ultimate Boy Scout.
Right.
And they made a movie that was essentially a Dark Knight movie with Superman. They made it dark and gritty, the gritty, quote unquote, Hollywood's favorite term when they want to make something grounded in reality.
Yeah. I think DC goes wrong.
It's not that I don't think Batman of Steel was a bad movie. I actually think Man of Steel was a good movie.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like what I picture as a Superman movie.
Yeah. I just think that they need to pick a marker and build off of it instead of recreating it every time.
I think that's another one. Yeah. I think when you overindulge yourself in reboots, people stop caring about whatever type of thing.
I lost interest in X-Men. I'm like, bro.
Right. I hate it when you try to make a sequel to a franchise of movies, but these 2 movies in the franchise didn't count. We're ignoring that those even happened. Where this is a sequel to number 2 instead of a sequel off of number 4. Right. Like they did that with what was I just thinking of? The Terminator. They did it twice. The last 2 new Terminator movies. The first one, this is a sequel to Terminator 2. We're ignoring Terminator 3 and Salvation. And then the next one, they did the same thing. Well, we're doing a sequel to Terminator 2. We're ignoring the other 3 now that have come out in between.
Right.
Just embrace it. Like, you made the movies.
Right.
They exist.
Yeah.
We consider them canon.
Yeah.
Just build off of it.
Listen.
If you didn't do a good job and people didn't like the movie, that just means make a better fucking movie. It doesn't mean ignore what you just did.
Right.
It just means make a better movie.
Right.
The thing I appreciate about the X-Men movies, actually, is that even when they rebooted, they still acknowledged the things that had happened. They maybe did it a little sloppy.
Right.
Maybe not every movie was very tight.
Still carried over.
It wasn't very tidy, and there wasn't the continuity things.
Might have been a stretch.
But when they did Days of Future Past, they brought both casts back together so that they could kind of say, we're going to go off in a new direction, but we don't want to ignore what has happened before. So let's transition this into a new thing by addressing the 2 different continuities.
Right, and letting that be part of the plot.
That's one of my favorite X-Men movies.
Yeah.
I love Days of Future Past quite a bit.
And you know, just like you said, just make a better movie. Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Before they had 3, right? They came out with 3 of them. They've done 2.
Yeah.
You sure? There's not 3 of them?
No.
There's only 2. Okay.
But they're also heavily in Infinity War and Endgame.
Right. So. Thank you. So So it was. I seen them in either Infinity War. Was it? They were in Infinity War. The one before that.
No. Yeah. They weren't in Ragnarok.
They weren't in Ragnarok. They were in Infinity War and Endgame.
Okay, what were they in before Infinity
Guardians
War?
2.
But they didn't show up in nobody else's.
They weren't a team.
No.
Yeah, they weren't a team.
Because I seen them in somebody else's tour. I'm like, hold on, like who is that? Because I just seen when I first seen it, I'm just like, okay, a raccoon and a fucking. I didn't grow up on this shit. I just think it's some weird shit, right?
Right.
But then when I see their it was the one where they actually show. It was an early movie in the MCU where they actually showed. It was. I don't know. It was probably the first one where. Listen, it was the first one where they had shot and they actually showed themselves on the place where Thanos was at, and some more shit, right? But anyway, come to find out, the scene that I saw just really piqued my interest on Guardians of the Galaxy, and I went and saw it. And at the end of it, I'm like, this was a good fucking movie.
Right.
And I've done some DC shit like that. And I'm just like, what the fuck? What the fuck's going on? Like,
I just think I think they are trying to cater to the wrong audience. I don't think that they really know how to. And I think for a while they were trying to catch up with Marvel. They were playing catch up because they hadn't done solo movies for all their characters. So they were like, well, let's just rush and get right to Justice League instead of like
building their individual characters.
Marvel took.
They did trilogies for every.
They took 5 years before they released an Avengers movie. They released a solo movie for almost everybody but Black Widow and Hawkeye.
Right.
Everybody else got a movie. So
now I think that Captain Marvel was unnecessary. However,
I like it.
However, I think that they gave up on the Hulk. I really do. I really think that the Hulk needs a whole new. Pretty much, they need to bring back the Red Hulk straight out, and have the Red
back. Red Hulk's a newer creation.
Well. So pretty much, it was the military dude who took the thing, right?
Right.
Well, they need to have him. No, not the red one. The purple one, right? Ain't there a purple Hulk?
There was a gray Hulk.
There's not a purple Hulk,
Gray. He went from green to gray, back to green, and then red came along later.
Isn't gray technically the original?
There might be a purple something, but he's not a Hulk.
Let's say they introduced a purple one.
There's a whole bunch of those gamma creations.
No, it's called
Joe.
Here, Joe Fix-It.
Joe Fix-It is a Hulk moniker. It's still Bruce Banner. Yeah.
Okay.
But he worked as a mob enforcer for a while.
Yeah.
They can't do a Hulk movie though.
Why?
Because Universal owns the distribution rights for Hulk movies.
And it just costs too much in CGI.
No, that's not it.
They can't own the rights.
Because that's why they made him a co-star of Ragnarok. That's why he's CGI almost the whole movie. It's almost as much of a Hulk movie as it is a Thor movie.
So what's the problem as to why they can't give him his own?
Because Disney owns Marvel. They are the distributors.
But they can't work it out?
They won't. Universal hasn't been willing to work anything out.
Like, for instance, Spider-Man 2 is Sony. They're the same thing.
Same Warner Brothers, Fox.
Yeah, but they're working together. That's why Spider-Man is in the movies, is in the Avengers movies now.
So how come they couldn't do that with?
Because Universal doesn't want to. They only own the distribution rights. They don't own anything else. So if you want to release a Hulk movie, you have to release it through us. Otherwise, they can use him in whatever they want to use him in. That's why he's always used
Universal,
as a team member.
Universal
or a
will probably
co-star.
compromise the rest of the MCUs as far, because they're going to want to put their spin on it.
But let's be really real about the Hulk, though. He works better as a plot device than he does as a lead character.
I don't think so. You know what? Listen, I honestly think that they cheated him in his first two movies.
I love Incredible Hulk.
It was awesome.
Edward Norton is dope.
I mean, listen, let's just be real. That's what people want to see. That's what people want to see.
That one's really fire. But when you play a character, everybody wants to watch that movie so they can see the Hulk. But the Hulk only, for one, you can't have a performance based solely around a CGI character because it's just not believable. So you have to have him be Bruce Banner more often. But we don't necessarily want to see Bruce Banner more often. We want to see Hulk.
Yeah.
That's why he works better as a plot device, because then you have other human characters that you can relate to and you can get the emotion across and you can have Hulk there to be the really dope dude who comes out the fucking scientist guy and just wrecks shit when he needs to.
You know,
I do, and now and it did work in Endgame, him being the Hulk for the whole time and never going back to Bruce Banner. I think that the path they're on now could work better. Yeah. But back then, that's why the Hulk movies didn't work as well. I feel is because you're basically doing Jekyll and Hyde. And
I think they should have just had
a star.
They should have had a real smash and go approach to that movie. Don't draw it. The first one that they brought back, it was real drawn out. The second one, he was fighting the dogs and the other monster. That was the first one, but the second one he was fighting that other monster. And I just felt like it should have been more like the military stuff. That was fucking dope. You know what I mean? Like
planes and shit up.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I just feel like they should have made him more faster of a movie. You know what I'm saying? Just listen. I honestly don't care about Bruce Banner. I don't.
But that's why it doesn't
like,
work as
like
well.
I would still be satisfied
movie, you know
with yeah. But see, I would still be satisfied with the monster that is Hulk, right? Like, and just seeing that whole storyline that he plays out.
I just don't think that's a satisfying movie. Like,
right.
I want to see him wreck shit, but if you don't have human interaction in the movie, then you're not. You're just watching a bunch of action scenes for the sake of action scenes.
So would you say okay?
That's why I do like Incredible Hulk, but understand why he's not the best option for a lead role in a superhero movie. He works better when he's
not even
with
for his
Thor.
own?
No, I don't like. I don't think you need a Hulk solo movie. You get plenty of the Hulk when he's a part of an ensemble. He works better as a part of a group than he does on his own to me.
Okay, now let me ask you this. When you used to watch the cartoons and read the comic books, the fact that he was actually Banner...
The difference, though, is that in the comic books, Hulk talked because there has to be exposition so you know what's going on and what he's thinking. He either needs to have thought bubbles or he needs to be able to speak. When you do him in the movies, you want to convey this idea that the really genius scientist turns into a not so smart wrecking machine.
Yeah.
And he's a monster. You're supposed to think that he's a monster. He's not necessarily a good guy. That's why they call him an anti-hero.
Right,
he'll do the right thing.
Yeah.
He can be swayed to the right way, but he can also lose control and just fucking murder everybody in a city.
Right. But he just wants to be left alone, right? That's like his whole thing, right?
Sure, but except what?
The only person that can go head to head with the Hulk with a decent little battle, Spider-Man. But he'll get knocked out though.
Why
there's
Spider-Man?
There's a lot of
Come
characters
on, man.
in
We're talking
Marvel
about the Hulk,
that can go at the Hulk.
There's
several of them.
That's why I had to bring that
Thanos.
up.
Right. Oh yeah. Well, look, we're gonna
Thanos,
bring it back
obviously.
around, back to the music here, because
We got sidetracked.
Yeah. But that's good conversation, because people
Wolverine.
probably gonna be talking shit like they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Wolverine had his first appearance in the Hulk. Very first thing he ever did was fight the Hulk.
Heavy.
His first appearance was in The Incredible Hulk number 183. So 181
Oh, in
or
the comics.
183.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
badass.
It was 181 or 183. But that was his very first
Yeah.
appearance.
And then I think I just seen the clip of Carnage, the Carnage movie that's gonna come out.
There's a Venom 2 with Carnage.
There you go. Yeah, that's
They
gonna
didn't
be.
put a clip out?
Yeah, or go look at it.
Is it real though?
I mean,
really
you
quick.
tell me.
It's the
You
end.
tell me. I mean, it looked.
It's the outro of the end of the movie.
Oh yeah. That was at the end of the first movie.
Okay,
Yeah, that
no
was the
doubt.
first one.
When he's
Yeah,
in the
it wasn't
jail.
like a trailer and
When
shit.
he's in the prison.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm over here like,
He's
bro.
all-
he's
I'm
all
over here like,
Hannibal Lectered
finally,
up.
and it's all right.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I seen the Venom movie. I just didn't watch it all the way through to catch it, to see that was at the end.
I liked
you
the
know.
Venom movie. I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
It's not a good movie, but I liked it.
Right. And people, rag on Spider-Man 3. I thought they did a fairly good job.
I hated
you know?
Spider-Man 3.
Really?
Wait, which one? Are you talking about?
The one with the first Venom.
He said, I
Tobey
hated
Maguire,
Spider-Man.
or
Okay,
not
what
Tobey
didn't you
Maguire,
like
with-
about it?
For
They
one,
didn't have CGI like that, man.
I mean, he wasn't Venom, first of all. He was another scrawny Spider-Man, but with a mouth and a tongue. He
Right.
didn't act like Venom. He didn't talk like Venom. He didn't call
He
himself. He didn't
wasn't
refer to
e-
himself as.
He didn't have
we
that high school
and
Brock
us.
Jock fucking build.
Yeah,
You know?
That's Venom.
yeah, that's Venom.
Right.
Like if Venom's not the size of the Hulk when he turns into Venom, then it's not Venom to me. You're just black suit Spider-Man with a mouth.
Right.
And he didn't refer. So like Venom is two minds in one body. It's Eddie Brock and it's the Venom symbiote. So if you do Venom and it's the suit that bonds to the body, but then he still refers to himself as me and I, he's cognizant that I'm a person. I'm just me.
Right.
That tells me that there's not like this hyper awareness to the Venom symbiote, which makes it not Venom either. That version of Venom is garbage trash. And the snowboarding Green Goblin bullshit was hot garbage trash too.
Really?
Sandman was cool until they turned him into a big CGI fuckfest at the end.
Right. Okay, so
Not into that
So
movie.
you got a lot to say about Sam Raimi's.
No, I love 1 and 2 are fucking amazing.
Okay, yeah.
Number
I mean,
three-
but the first one
number
was
three-
the Goblin on the
They
shit.
try to do what they're
That
doing
was on
now
the
with
glider.
MCU
The
shit.
glider, right?
He was
okay,
on
yeah.
the glider. He looked.
That
I
made
mean,
sense, right? That was
his suit was a little too Power Rangers for me.
Right.
But like, I mean, I feel like it would have been hard to really pull off the latex mask that looks like a real face.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been harder to pull off.
Yeah.
So I understood why they did it. But he still was on the glider. I'm saying in Spider-Man 3, when Harry becomes the new Goblin, he's on, like, some stupid fucking snowboard.
Yeah, right.
Like,
yeah.
with
Snowboard.
jets underneath. It was dumb as shit. I really liked Sandman. I thought that
was a dope addition.
I thought if they would have just focused on Sandman, especially with all the thick history that they established, he's the one that killed Uncle Ben.
Right.
You could have done Sandman and Venom only, and it would have made more sense. I didn't need the team up with Harry Osborn, who's now a good bad guy.
Hold on. You said Sandman and Venom.
They threw Gwen Stacy in just for the sake of throwing Gwen Stacy in. She was totally wasted, and the fucking stupid walk down the fucking street, Spider-Man strutting like a jazz musician.
Yeah. That was cornball.
Fuck out of here.
That was pretty stupid, though.
So stupid. Fuck
Really?
outta here. That movie's so bad.
Oh shit.
I've watched that movie recently, and I still came out of it like, nope, time has done nothing for you. You are still hot garbage trash. You are exactly why they rebooted.
Wow.
Again, though, I don't think they should have rebooted. I think they should have embraced that they made a shitty movie and just followed up off of it and just continued on.
Now, do you think that they should have focused primarily on Sandman, or do you think that? So Venom shouldn't have been in there.
I feel like anytime you throw too many villains in, especially if you try to make all the villains important.
Right.
If you throw villains in just to be kind of like known villains from the comics, but they're still kind of henchmen, or they're still kind of like a sidekick to the main villain.
Right.
There's still a focus. There's a focus on Thanos, but he still has the black guard with him, his children.
Right.
And they're from the comics. They have like whole arcs of their own, but they didn't focus on that because Thanos is the star.
Yeah.
Not these other illegitimate children that he has killing everybody for him. Right? They're not the important part. They're the squad that goes out and fucks shit up.
Right.
And they focused on them just enough to do the cool action scenes and give them screen time, but then bring it all back to Thanos. He's the star of the story. I think if they would have done something like that with Sandman, it would have been fine. They didn't need two villains in the second Spider-Man movie. It was still just Doc Ock. You had just Green Goblin, you had just Doc Ock. And then here they go in the third one, they throw three villains into it. And it's like, now you killed it. There's too much.
It's overkill.
There's too much going on.
Yeah.
Anytime you do too many villains, it just gets bad.
Yeah. You got to put a backstory to
that happened in the original Batman series. The second they made it more cartoony and started adding more and more villains, like the Batman and Robin had Bane, Poison Ivy, and Mr. Freeze, and they were all garbage, all whack, because you couldn't do you didn't have enough time to do any one of them right, and the movie sucked anyways. So
so when they came back and did the Vulture thing,
but the Vulture was dope though.
Was he? You thought he was dope?
Yeah, fire. He's one of my favorite villains in the Spider-Man movies.
Oh, wow.
I really liked Vulture.
Yeah.
I really liked Mysterio. Mysterio was one of my favorite villains in any of the MCU movies so far.
Yeah.
I really like what they've done with the newer Spider-Man movies. Yeah, man.
The whole Iron Man trilogy's fucking fire.
Third one's good.
Yeah. I'll say that. He's like, look.
One's incredible. Two is better than most people give it credit for. I know a lot of people don't like number two.
Yeah.
And I think number three is a good movie, but it's not a good Iron Man movie.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of went away from it.
I mean, he spends most of his time out of the suit. So, like, all the action scenes, they find an excuse to pull him out of the suit, which I understand. They were trying to show that, like, he's been through a lot now, and he doesn't necessarily need the suit. He thinks he needs the suit. That's kind of part of his PTSD in the movie, is that, like, I need the suit because I almost died without if I don't have the suit, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
But throughout that movie, he kind of figures out, like, I don't really need the suit. I'm pretty capable of doing what I need to do without it, and he shows that several times. But for me, an Iron Man movie has Iron Man in it, and if you keep taking him out of the suit, one of my least favorite scenes in all of the MCU is when I love the scene in the third one when he saves everybody on Air Force One. He pulls them all out and he electrocutes through their hands just enough strong enough pulse to make them all grab each other, so it's like Barrel of Monkeys.
Right.
And he saves them all and he drops them all in the water, and then he flies over. And all that scene is super fucking dope. It's really well done. And then he flies over the freeway, and a semi-truck hits the armor, and the armor fucking explodes, and he's not even in the suit. He's off safely on a boat somewhere, controlling the suit remotely.
Oh, right,
and I'm like, that big hero couldn't even be in the fucking suit and go save the people yourself.
Drone, right.
You got to be over here drone piloting
Right. That was weak. Right.
It was the best. It was
Right.
the best scene in the movie. Oh, I actually really like the scene when he fucking breaks into the compound without the suit at all. He's like super James Bond about it. He made all of his own gadgets and like I like that scene a lot. It's very MacGyver.
Look, I feel just back to Thanos real quick. I didn't want to see a poetic Thanos. You know what I mean? I didn't want to see that. I wanted to
thought
see.
that worked way better.
I wanted to see like fucking angry Thanos. I wanted to
angry.
see. Yeah, but he wasn't. He was too easygoing. You know,
He was not. He was murdering half of civilizations.
Yeah,
like,
but
he
I
was
mean,
going planet
there
to
was
planet, slaughter this half, leave this half. Good luck, guys. We're out. He was hella Trumpian.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's poetic in the sense that his motives are valid. That's why people were like, I agree with Thanos. The hashtag I agree with Thanos.
Oh, wow.
Because he had valid reason. Like, if you get to a certain population size, you just suck up the resources from the planet. You kill the planet, and then you're all gonna go extinct. So if I come around planet to planet and just make the decision for you, I'm chopping this half off. Sorry about your bad luck, but you guys should be better now. The idea makes sense.
Yeah.
But slaughtering half of a civilization's never okay.
Right.
So you're still a villain. You know what I mean?
But I mean, it all depends on the level of perspective.
You know, in the comic, he was more poetic. Like his background was more poetic than even the movies were. The movies gave him a fundamentally believable reason for why he is who he is.
Right.
The comic book, he was trying to impress death. The personification of death.
Right.
He was very Shakespearean.
Yeah.
He was very like, you are my love, and if I can confess my love to you, Madam Death, I will kill half of the universe. If that will convince you to be with me and be my queen, I will murder half the universe. I will get all these stones, I will put them in this glove, and I will snap and I will kill everybody. For you. That's some poetic shit.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's where the poetry hits.
Right.
The movies are a little less poetic to me, but more believable and work better if I'm going to watch live action characters fight a CGI guy. I need to believe that this is not just some weirdo in love with a skeleton.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
In the comics it works because it's a comic book.
Yeah.
It's just different medium. Once you
Yeah.
take something to live action, you got to make some sacrifices.
Right.
That's why I've never been one of those guys that's like, make it exactly like the comic. First of all, I've read the comic, so if you make it exactly like the comic, there are zero surprises for me.
Right.
I know everything that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Watchmen was awesome because it was exactly like the comic, but it was also kind of disappointing because it was exactly like the comic. I know everything that's going to fucking happen. There's no secrets. So when the big twist happens, it's like, duh. I knew that because I read the book. Right?
That's so fucking
Now
true.
the Avengers
want-
movies.
Huh?
The Avengers movies.
Okay.
Which one was the best one and why?
Infinity War is the best one.
Really?
Infinity War is the best one, but Endgame's my favorite.
Oh wow.
Because
I like the
Endgame-
second one. I thought the second one had some pretty dope action.
The second one's cool. I like the second one.
Yeah.
I actually like the first one over the second one.
Really?
The first one was
With
my
Loki?
favorite. Yeah. Because it's the first of them coming together. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that whole dynamic of them not liking each other and having to figure out how to be a team, knowing that we really need to figure out how to make this work because clearly there are things out there that are coming to get us.
Yeah.
Like,
But
seeing,
when dude,
seeing
who
them
was the
learn how to
robot?
work together.
Who was the robot dude?
Ultron.
Yeah, when he lifted up the whole city, bro.
Yeah.
That was epic. Like
Yeah.
that's, you know what I
No,
mean?
it's and I like that one. But Infinity War, that one carries so much emotional resonance throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
Your heroes are broken up. They haven't spoken to each other in a couple of years. They're both operating under different factions. Thanos has a believable agenda. You almost kind of sympathize with him. These characters are spread out across the fucking galaxy at this point. They're all fighting their own battles in different places, all fighting for the same goal, but they don't know they're fighting for the same goal.
Right.
And you have at that point you have 12 years of built-up storyline leading up to this story.
Right.
So you're emotionally invested in these characters.
Right, exactly.
When they all dust at the end, I saw that movie in the theater opening night in an IMAX screen, and there was not a fucking sound for the entirety of the credits. There wasn't a fucking peep in the audience. Everybody just sat there, mostly crying. Like, it was an emotional experience. You just watched your family dust and the heroes lose. And very few superhero movies ever have hit with that kind of emotional resonance. Logan is one of them.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
a diehard Wolverine fan. Wolverine is my favorite fictional character from any form of literature or media at all, ever.
I still think Cyclops is interesting enough to have his own standalone, at least once.
He for sure is.
Thank you.
He for sure is.
Okay, so look.
Wolverine's my guy. So when Logan happened,
Yeah.
I was an emotional wreck at the end of that movie. But I felt
Right.
the same at Infinity War because you have, like,
Built that up,
the first
yeah.
one came out in 2008. My son was only 4 when that movie came out. He's turning 16 this next month. So that's like, that's
The whole life.
that's by the time Infinity War came out, I was in 2018. So that was 10 years that we have been, like, for him, that's his entire childhood that we've been watching these Marvel movies. So you go see the movie and all your characters just fucking either died or they're sitting there with their dust in their hands from their friends, and then roll fucking credits.
Man, how Spider-Man really had me into
Knowing you gotta wait.
Knowing he's a child,
Yeah,
he was legitimately scared. He gave the best performance in his death. And
Who?
Spider-Man,
Oh, yeah?
Tom Holland. He gave the best death scene because
He
it was,
did, huh?
and Tony had like that relationship with him.
Yeah, that
It's
was
gonna be a
dope.
real nerdy fucking podcast, by the way.
Right.
Just so
No,
you
no,
know.
no. They're gonna love it.
No,
They're gonna love it.
It's gonna go. But
So look,
that movie had the emotional resonance. The reason Endgame's my favorite, though, is because all the dope nerd moments happened in that movie. Captain America getting the hammer, fucking, Ant-Man coming out from under the fucking ground in that final battle and just stomping on shit.
Right, the airport.
All the portals opening and all the heroes coming back and Cap realizing he has an army with him now. Like, he's about to face down this whole army by himself. And then here come these portals and all these characters that were dead a minute ago. That moment when fucking Falcon radios in and says, "On your left."
Right.
Dude, that moment hits so hard. Right. There's just so many good fan moments, and they go back to all the other movies, like do those Back to the Future shits.
Okay, so
that movie is like all nerd moments. That movie's like a lot of fan service, which you can say good and bad things about fan service moments. That movie's the kind of fan service that just is a payoff. You lived with these characters for this long. You went through the emotional fucking wreck of watching them all die and lose, and then so the payoff is that the next movie they're just gonna fucking wreck shit.
Right.
We're fucking shit up.
Right, and you had to wait a whole year and a half just to see how it would
when
pick
he pulled
up.
it back on it, he squeezed it tight real quick, and he just
die, bro.
he was ready. Yeah, I'm gonna die here. That's fine. I'm gonna die fighting. I'm definitely not running.
That was a crazy moment, bro.
Okay, so
Cap's my favorite. Cap's my favorite.
Yeah.
Next to Wolverine is probably Cap.
oh wow, no doubt.
And then I'd probably go to Batman and Spider-Man.
Right. All right, so Kevin Feige on a scale of 1 through 10.
Modern day Stan Lee.
Bubba Wallace here from 2311 Racing. Funny thing about being fast, you end up waiting a lot. First to show up, first in line, then just waiting. Me, I rev up Chumba Casino. With over 200 social casino games, no slow lanes here. Why sit around when you can spin? I'm already racing. Your turn. Play for free at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Really?
Yeah. He's a narrative genius. Like he worked on the earlier X-Men movies too, the good ones.
Okay.
He got his start with Lawrence Schuller Donner helping produce those movies, and then he was brought into Marvel Studios when they decided to make their own movies.
Yeah.
And he's the guy who's had the vision from day one that we're going to build up solo movies into a team movie. Then we're going to introduce some new characters and do some sequels and do another team movie. And then we're going to lead all the way up to this huge extravaganza of just comic book glory on screen.
Right, exactly.
We're going to do...
And he pulled it off.
He was the guy who was
smart enough.
He's the guy who was smart enough to say, first of all, keep them in colorful costumes. If they work in the comics, they'll work here. We just need to make them look like they make sense. So Captain America's not wearing like a super tight suit. He's wearing like a fatigue type army. It looks like it's padded and it's got some protection to it. It looks like an army suit, but it's still red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
You're going to put Captain America in a fucking Star-Spangled suit. You're going to do it. You have to do it.
Right.
There's no point in making Thor a guy that wears like a fucking cloak.
Yeah.
Just to make him look real.
Right.
Let him wear a fucking bright red cape and carry a thunderous hammer. Like he was smart enough to You know that joke in the first X-Men movie? Like, what do you expect? Yellow spandex? Yes, motherfucker, I kind of did.
Right.
Why are you wearing black leather? It doesn't work the same. You
He's
guys
like,
are
yeah,
superheroes.
I kind of did, yeah.
I grew up watching the old Superman movies. I can accept a character in a bright suit.
Right.
I'm okay with that. I'm a superhero fan. That's how we roll.
Right.
Kevin Feige was smart enough to say, don't embrace it. Don't fuck with it. And he was smart enough to go, if these crossover stories can work in the comics, why can't they work in movies? Why can't we have all of these things happening within the same universe? You can still make a solo movie. Yeah. You don't have to sit there wondering, where's these other characters the whole time? It's irrelevant. It's not their movie. It's his movie.
Right.
You can still make that.
Yeah.
And then you can bring them all together and give fans, like, that same feeling they get from comic books.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Kevin, I think, he hasn't created any of his own things necessarily, so it's like maybe modern day Stan Lee is a little extra.
Right.
But in terms of people who know how to craft a story,
right.
I don't think that anybody has
a big
done it.
picture story. We're talking about trilogies per character.
Yeah.
Bro, when Thor came back in Infinity War with Groot and the Rocket, the whole freaking cinemas went wild, bro.
It's
when
an insane moment. And you don't get that moment without Kevin Feige in the very beginning going, hey, at the end of Iron Man, let's get Samuel L. Jackson and have him come in and tease the Avengers.
Okay, but see, here's what I got against Kevin
I mean?
Feige. I just didn't like how he tried to narrate Captain Marvel being the strongest in the MCU. Just after you already.
She's
hold on.
one of the strongest characters in the comics, though.
Is she though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
She was one of the first creations.
Captain Marvel is fucking
okay. So why?
Powerful.
So why debut her so late?
Because you got to get the A-list characters out first.
You could have had an A-lister play her.
The Avengers. She's not an OG Avenger. He did the OG Avengers first.
Oh wow.
Iron Man, Cap, Hulk,
she's not an OG
Hawkeye.
Avenger, but she's part of the Avengers.
Technically, Black Widow is not an OG Avenger either. But for the feat, you have to have the woman, right? You gotta get a woman on the team, and she makes more sense than Captain Marvel does. Captain Marvel's not an OG Avenger. She didn't become an Avenger until like later years when she was Miss Marvel, and then she became Captain Marvel.
So she actually helped out the Avengers at some point in time. That's how they kind of comes in the story.
She's crossed over with them several times prior to that, but she's just not she's just not one of the originals.
Okay.
Where do you feel? When Stan Lee put the Avengers together, when he created the Avengers, it was Thor, Hulk, Cap, Ant-Man, Wasp, Iron Man,
and the Hulk.
I said that right? And Hulk. If I didn't say that, Hulk. Yeah.
Okay, and so where do you think Kevin Feige could have did better?
No comment. I don't think that guy could have done. I think the MCU is the greatest franchise.
It's the best thing that ever happened to movies.
Ever to me.
It's never been done before.
It's like the closest is like Star Wars, and there are so many misses in the Star Wars movies.
Okay, so but you believe Batman is stronger than Superman?
Stronger?
Or who wins?
They're not even Marvel. How do we go from Marvel now we're on to DC?
Okay, but
we're talking about Kevin Feige, and you go, who's stronger, Superman or Batman?
Because based off of what you just said, I'm like, okay, that he probably thinks like this too. You know what I'm saying? You probably because that's another argument I have.
I think Batman's a better written character. I think Batman's a more interesting character than Superman.
I accept that answer.
I do not think I know he's not stronger.
Right.
But the way he has been written and developed over the years is to be the smartest man in the room at any given time.
Yeah.
You're not going to beat him because he is going to have a contingency plan for the contingency plan for the contingency plan that's going to make sure that even if he loses, so do you.
Right.
Right. He's just 100 steps further along than everybody else, including Superman.
Yeah, so the movie
Superman's too optimistic to be like that, though. That's kind of that's what you like about Superman, right? You want it.
Well, only because
it's the same.
Of his supernatural
it's the same
strength.
Exact dynamic as Iron Man and Cap. Cap is the idealistic one. Cap is the one who is like, no, people are good inherently. We need to allow them to prove that they're good. And Iron Man is like, fuck that, protect everything, shut it all down, do what we need to do to protect the people who we know are good, not the ones who we hope are good.
Right.
And that's the Batman-Superman dynamic, exactly. As Superman is like, people are good. They just need to be shown how to be good.
Yeah.
Let me be that beacon of hope. And Batman is like, I'm going to chill over here in the shadows, and when those people that you think are so good fuck up, I'm going to beat the shit out of them.
Right. That's Batman.
That's Batman.
I just feel like in the movie...
We can be homies, but I'm going to fuck your friends up.
Listen, I just feel like, look, the recent movie that they shared, I just feel like it was too convenient for Batman just so happen to have the right amount of kryptonite, let alone to have any kryptonite at all. But see, right,
He
because
stole it from Lex Luthor, who always has kryptonite all the time.
Okay, but see, but still, and see, look, he didn't even have to travel the planet for it, right? He didn't have to go get it.
He did in the very beginning of the movie. He's in. Remember when in the.
So Lex Luthor, where's he?
No, so remember in Man of Steel when the machines have all come out and they're starting to like terraform Earth to be like Krypton, right? And that's what creates like the areas of kryptonite. So one of them was on one side of the Earth, the other one was on the other. And Superman flew around to one side of the Earth to stop that machine and then come back around and fucking fight Zod and his machine over here. So in the very beginning of Batman v Superman is a guy that works for Lex Luthor mining that South American area where that other machine is that he stopped first.
Yeah.
They're mining that area. So he did have to
They're mining it for the kryptonite.
For the kryptonite. He had to travel to get the kryptonite.
Batman.
But he's got
Superman.
Lex Luthor. But he's got the resources and the funds to be able to do whatever he fucking wants.
Yeah, Zod was from out of
Okay.
Zod was from Krypton. He was a Kryptonian.
He was trying,
and he was trying to turn Earth into the new Krypton.
That's a native Superman villain.
That's Zod. Yeah.
Okay. No doubt.
So he did have to travel to get the kryptonite. It wasn't. I mean, it's still like. I mean, anything in a comic book movie is convenient because one thing needs to lead to another thing, needs to lead to another thing.
Right.
It's convenient in the comics that the ship that brought Superman to Earth was followed by all of these asteroids that came to Earth too. And that's how kryptonite got there in the comics. They're chunks of. But everybody seems to have it. It's almost like you can make more.
I just want to see.
Which doesn't make any sense.
I want to see. I need to see Batman under a stronger conflict. Okay, I need to see him under a little more stress. Because
fighting Superman's a lot of stress. I don't know what you're talking about. This man can literally crush you with his
fighting
hands.
Superman, that's pretty fucking fun.
Yeah, that's I mean, it's pretty metal if you really think about it.
But I just feel like
this regular guy just puts on a suit of armor and goes fights.
You know what?
God.
Listen, when they make a Batman movie where Superman actually defeats Batman but doesn't kill him, I'll accept that and gladly see the next movie.
Sure.
Right?
I mean, I'll gladly see all of them anyways.
Right, either way it goes. Right.
It doesn't make any difference to me. One miss is not going to negate
Batman
my
Beyond, that was your
future
shit?
ticket sale. Like, I'm still going to go to all of them.
Yeah.
No, I think Batman's just a stronger written character. He's been, and maybe he's been kind of intellectually overpowered over the years. Like,
he's one of the pillars.
He can beat everybody because all the writers are like, he can beat everybody.
Right.
That's how they want to write him. Because you always want to write for the guy who's essentially unbeatable, even if he goes through some hard shit.
Right. And that's Wolverine in his world.
That's Wolverine in his world, yeah.
Like, can't kill him. You know what I mean?
Can't kill him, but that's also like the thing he hates about himself.
Right.
Is that
If you put an adamantium bullet in Wolverine, he's just gonna forget and probably just still kill you anyway.
That's one of the dumbest things they did in that fucking stupid ass movie.
I know, right?
Yeah.
That wouldn't happen. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
His head would have just.
It wouldn't. It just doesn't make any sense.
Right?
It's dumb.
I had to throw that in there. That's why.
So look,
I hate that movie.
Yeah.
I love Wolverine and I hate that movie.
All right, so look, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up, man. Cory Tate, man, thanks for coming through for this exclusive interview.
Glad we nerded out.
You know what I mean? Real quick, if you want to go ahead and let people know where they can find and follow you online, you know what I'm saying?
He wants another one for the camera. He wants one for the flick.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yes, sir. Where can people follow you online?
I would love for people to go to my Bandcamp, Cory Tate, CoryTate.bandcamp.com. You can also find me on Instagram at Cory.Tate. And fuck Facebook forever.
No doubt. You got any shout-outs you want to drop?
EST20, Anti-Heroes, Chris Kempen, Deranged Pit, and Boombox Massacre. Y'all don't know about that yet, but you will. AROM in France, Mutant Ninja Records, my brother, my girl, my kids, my best friends. I love you all.
No doubt. All right, Cory Tate, man, thanks for coming through for this exclusive interview with the Wilson Block.
Definitely.
And until next time, I'm out.